In this video, I want to show you an easy way to make a super bulky strand with a knitting spool that can be used for several different things. Now, I would start with 8 ounces of yarn, and then I would take that 8 ounces on a large lucet, or the largest lucet you can find, and then loosely lucet the yarn. And what you'll end up with, starting with a worsted weight yarn, you'll end up with a super bulky luceted yarn, which is what I have right here. And then this is the, it's a rug spool knitter. They're often, not often, but sometimes on eBay. I believe this one is by Rugworks. It's plastic. It's about 6 inches tall. And the advantage is the size of the opening for the strand. I have made a spool knitter to work with bulky yarn, but the hole that I have in mine is not quite this big. So this really works well. And as far as I know, if I'm remembering correctly, it's by Rugworks. And I started, this is yarn that had belonged to my mother, and I had actually knit it into something else and then decided to do this with it. I had luceted it already, and I believe when I started this, I had 4 or maybe 6 50-gram balls of Debbie Bliss Fisherman Aran. So this could be the 2 big balls that you see here. One fell on the floor. That could be 6 small skeins of worsted weight. And I'm sorry I don't have more definite amounts on how much yarn to start with. But you could buy 4 or 6. And as I said, lucet them on a large lucet so that you have a super bulky yarn. And look at the strand when you put it through this knitter. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful strand. Now I have a couple of ideas that I'm going to do with this, and one might be an upcoming pattern, I'm not sure yet. But the easiest and most obvious thing you can do is make a rug. Now if you use all of your scrap worsted weight yarns and lucet them and then use this knitter to knit them into these strands, then you just start coiling it. And I haven't found a sewing machine that will handle this thick of a strand. So, but then you would choose which is the top and which is the bottom, and you would hand stitch it. I mean, this is almost 1.5 inches thick. It's at least 1 inch, almost 1.5 inches. That would make the most comfortable bedside rug, bathroom rug. I mean, it's just wonderful. So even though the amount of yarn you use is a lot, doing it this way is really, it's a 2-step with the luceting and then the spool knitting, but the size strand that you get would equal, my regular braided rugs are about 1/2 inch thick. So this is as if I am stacking 3 of my rugs on top of each other. It's wonderful, and it's very easy to do, and anyone could make a rug.